Hello and welcome to Nioh 2 as part of the Road to GotY for 2020. Nioh 2, a game that I very much enjoyed. I have beaten. We're gonna have some slight visual spoilers here, but I am back in New Game Plus in an early area to be able to show it off. I have one of the DLC weapons. I guess it's not even DLC weapons anymore. It was just added to the game, and I absolutely love them. Oh my gosh, they're so good. But we'll talk about them in a little bit. Nioh 2. This is a really, really solid game. In a different year that didn't have so many other games that I love, this would probably be top 5 for me because of how good it is. And it's possible when I finish the DLC, which I plan to finish before Game of the Year, that it will still be top 5. But I have very much enjoyed this game. This game is very good, and the build variety, what I'm able to do with this game, is incredible. Oh, these guys are weak to fire. Right, there we go. The fact that I am a kind of, not super tanky, but like kind of tanky, mostly unkillable ninja mage that uses tonfa and uses his fists is like unbelievably fun to me. I love the versatility of the builds in this game. Because it's really easy to fall into the trap of, well, you know, you went with this build, so this is the weapon type you're going to use. But instead, even among the weapons, there's variation, which is great. There. That's not excuse me. That's not even counting the yokai abilities that you can get and the things you can do with those. Yep, I asked for that. I got too reckless. Let's heal up. Okay. I love the fist so much. Oh, I overcommitted my stamina and got hit. Oh, that was a good block, though. All right. So we're going to wait. We're going to bait this attack out. And then we're going to hit and go into the Dempsey roll. It's so good. Oh, my gosh. I love it. And that's just weapons. It's not even counting what I can do with my tonfa. What I can do with my rifle or my bow. That's not counting the ninjutsus that I have and the various effects they have. Magic, yokai abilities. Show that one off there. It gets to bounce off walls and hit multiple times. And so what it comes down to is one thing that I love so much in video games is options. I have an option for every scenario, basically. How do I want to tackle it? Because I can do it. However I want to do it, I can do it. Bounce off the walls inside this small room to do some extra damage with my yokai ability. Go into low stance so that I can dance around a little bit here and hit him. Dodge back away. I can burst counter that attack. Then go back in again in medium stance. Mid stance. Block that one and then go for a solid hit to finish it off. We'll switch to tonfas here and do a little bit with him too. It's options, the ARPG, in my opinion. And that's what I love so much about this game. The story's really solid, the music's really solid, but for me it comes down to the gameplay. And the gameplay in Nioh 2 is top notch. I loved the gameplay in the original Nioh, but the original Nioh did kind of feel like, even though I was a weapon user who had, I think I was using dual sword and spear is what I started with in Nioh 2. And I wound up using tonfa and spear in Nioh 1. I mean Nioh 1, not Nioh 2. And I liked it. It's good. It works. But it never felt like my build was together. It kind of felt like I had a bunch of different builds mushed together. Whereas here, everything flows, I believe. The way that they've done it where your stuff scales slightly off the other ones as well. This Ippon Datara is going to be a problem. First counter. Oh, we dodged it. That works too. Oh, too shallow, but we dodged the attack anyway, so it works. Yep. The only thing that this game doesn't have that I think Nioh 1 had is Saratobi's gun sticks. And maybe I just haven't found any. And we'll get to the RNG in a minute, because I do think the RNG is a problem with builds in this game. I think there are ways to mitigate that through forging and things like that, but I do believe the RNG to be my biggest issue with this game. But yeah, for the most part, no matter what I want to do, I can do it. Where the RNG factors in is that I can do it, but it may take me a long time to get the parts I need to be able to do it, if that makes sense. Because unfortunately, sometimes you just don't get the drop you need to be able to get the weapon you want. I missed. I missed with my water. Yeah. This is why I said earlier that I was basically unkillable. Commentator's Curse is going too, where I can kill these things so easily normally, but because I'm trying to talk and trying to think at the same time. Let's go ahead and up and dive up. There we go. I have gone with an unlimited ninjutsu build that gives me decent tankiness, but I drop really quickly if I get attacked repeatedly. But my build is also focused on doing a ton of damage with my thrown options, keeping me alive through the use of things like that, and the ability to regen my anima gauge for using yokai abilities through using my thrown weapons as well. Because I can get more of my thrown weapons for free, basically, with unlimited ninjutsu. It basically means that as long as I'm careful, I'm not going to die, which is a really fun build to play around with, but it's very different than my hatchet hammer build, which I also really love. I think this game really lets you capitalize on that feeling of how do you want to play, which is really cool. The problem, as we were talking about with the RNG, comes from you may have a way you want to play, and you may just not get any more gear for it. I have had this 169 defense shinobi hood for a long time now. And yeah, this other stuff isn't like much better, but it is still better. And I think I've got, yeah, my feet, my boots are my newest ones that I just recently got a replacement for. Because before that, like, these don't have the skills that I need them to have. And you can reroll skills, thankfully. But I need, actually, Shuriken and Kunai damage. Nioh magic power is good, but Shuriken and Kunai plus 3. 6. I don't drop rates higher though, and projectile damage taken is down. But we get more magic power out of the, and it's not that much of a defense increase. I think it's because there's so much gear that it means that you are less likely to find gear that is good if you are specializing in a build. If you're not specializing, you're probably going to find more gear that you can use and be almost spoiled for choice, I would think, most of the time. But if you're specializing and trying to get specific skills, then you will struggle a little bit there. Yep. But this is just a couple of the weapons, and because of the armory system that's been added in, basically, were I to decide, you know what, I've been using fists, I've been using tonfas, my tonfas are pretty strong, but I want to go with something different. I want to go with that new Black Lotus switch scythe, switch glaive that I just got. I can start using it too instead. I don't want to lose those tonfas. Those are really good tonfas. Careful, but I can start using this. And because of the way the armory system works, I will level up my switch glaive skills faster. My Dark Souls senses kicked in, and I expected a rock to come rolling through. Come on, you. I can start using this switch glaive, and I will get abilities like that for the switch glaive, get skill points for it, because I have a way higher skill level with the tonfas. Which I think is a really cool way to do a system, because it encourages you to mix and match, where again, the first Nioh kind of didn't do that. I really think this game lets you just build however you want to build, which I absolutely adore. So cool. All right, where are my good ones? Maximum. There they are. 54. I will go back to the fist, though, because I love the fist moveset so much. Behind you. Oh. Should probably get out of swing. Yep. I do think there's kind of a weird difficulty spike in the middle of this game. And then the DLC is definitely a spike as well, though it's not a spike that you can't handle, especially if you have a good build. Oh. That was a mistake on my part. I talk about the commentator's curse sometime, but it's super real. There we go. Because you're trying to monitor. I guess I should explain that. You're trying to monitor audio. You're trying to monitor the game, make sure everything's running well. You're trying to be reasonable when you're speaking. You're trying to make sure that you're making your points correctly. And you're trying not to die. So, you know, commentator's curse. It's a thing. No, I think Nioh 2 is a not only vast improvement upon the first game, by not really changing much. I think it's an incredible game of its own merit. I think what they have managed to achieve here with build variety is absolutely worth praising. And it's kind of a shame that this game has been overlooked by a lot of outlets when it comes to some of the best games of this year, because it came out earlier and not later. I'm going to die. Yep, that was my mistake. I overused my key because I missed that key pulse. But we're gonna finish this mission before we end this. This game. Oh, let's show all this off real quick. Like the Switchglaive. I have very little in the Switchglaive, so now I can get some other abilities for it. That seems really good. Positioning in a high stance. Do that. We are going to run and catch up to our stuff. What's a dead end? Did I miss this before? Oh, come on. There we go. I am not spec'd for these weapons, honestly. By far. I need to be spending a lot more points as I level up on these. But I just started using them, and I really like them. So I'm not going to stop. That's kind of how it works for me, is I could be using a Kusarigama and be doing more damage. But because of how the build synergizes, it kind of doesn't matter what weapon I'm using. Because most of my build comes from my throne and magic. And those are already really good and aren't going to just get worse because I use a different weapon. Ah, no. Don't push me into the fire, you jerk. Pardon me. Don't mind me. Nope, coming through. Thanks. For anybody who's like, man, Trey, you're so bad at this. You're right, but I love it anyway. Let's talk story, because I've been trying not to spoil too much. Story in this game is really solid. I don't think it's like the best story of the year, but I think where it goes with Tokichiro and the relationship between Tokichiro and your main character, I think is really good. I really enjoyed how that story was told. And I'm excited to see the stories of the DLC. This will be all spoilers by this point, by the way. So if you've made it 13 minutes into this video and you don't want any more spoilers, this is probably the time to go away and come back until you have played the game yourself. But the moment that William shows up from the first game, I lost my mind. That was such a cool surprise, and I can't believe they hid that. That was incredible to me. I was so stoked to see William. Like, it's a little thing, right? He's not a huge character in the scene of gaming, but he's the guy you played as in the first game. I spent untold hours as William, you know? And so it was just cool to get to play as him again. Or not play as him, but play alongside him, I should say. To see him again and see him come to fight. Strong attack with a body blow. Is it flying away? Oh, that seems really good. We have enough to level up, I believe. Get to a shrine. No, get off, you stupid wheel. Alright, we're not going to miss this time. Oh, I missed the... I said I wasn't going to miss, and I missed the burst counter anyway. Hold still. Aha! I hit you, even though I took a bunch of damage for it. Worth. Alright, let's go ahead and do one of these so we don't die fighting a wheel. Do one of these. And then we'll finish him off. Get away! Yeah, I didn't get away in time. Man, I'm standing in fire. Well, you know, that was messy. But again, because the build that I have worked out anyway. It wasn't good, but it worked out anyway. And that's, at the end of the day, that's what's important, right? I think we grabbed those two GotYs on accident, too, with aggro. Back off and shuriken. And there we go. You got... Ow! That arrow actually did a ton of damage. I mean, I guess I should remember I'm on New Game Plus. And I'm not really kitted out for New Game Plus yet. Most of what I have is still New Game equipment. Alright, you, sir. Gotcha. And I think that's the big... I was talking about the story before we got interrupted with the wheel. But I think that's the big takeaway for me, is this game's just fun to play. It's fun to play. I like the build variety. I like being able to mix and match as much as I want to make the character the way I want to make them out of all of these different options. I think the story is solid. I think the characters are mostly really good, especially like Takichiro again. There are definitely characters that I think kind of fall flat, but everything with Oda Nobunaga, that's all really good and is played out really well, I think. It does kind of move quickly, and especially at the start, there's some stuff with your character's dad that I think goes really quickly. We'll go ahead and show off a yokai form here. Why not? But I do think by the end of the game, it absolutely pays off. Gotcha. That burst counter was exactly what I wanted. Thank you. One of those. The explosion will go off in a minute. And then we should be able to just finish you off. There we go. Man, this build is so much fun. Because I kind of don't care what I'm fighting. I just love fighting it, you know? It's just such a blast to me to use this build and to play around. I think what we need is in that house, even though I checked inside that. Hello. Thought about using a yokai ability there, but backed out of it. And now we wrap it up. Maybe it's on the roof of the house? Because that Ippon Datara was not the end. Definitely here. Oh, I think that's one of the demons we already killed, but I'm yokai. Hello, sir. May I come through your position? If you don't want me to, that's fine, but I'm just going to kick you until you die. I have to get used to how much ki that burns, because I burn a lot with that combo, but that combo feels so good. Be a cross up there. Kick. Stamina. Go for the stomp. I ran out of ki. Got excited again. Oh, boy, that one-shot me. I don't know if I was at full health or not when that one-shot me. I should have burst countered it, but I wanted to be fancy and waited until he finished swinging and then finish him off, and then we were going to finish this video, basically. But I got greedy, so now we have to do it the old-fashioned way. I'm in a tough spot now because I don't I don't really have that much more to say about this game other than that I think it's really good. The fact that it gives you the option to mix and match as much as you want. Coming back to it this far into the year after playing so many other games, I just want to play more of it now while I'm playing it right now. I don't want to stop after this video's over, even though I'm going to have to because I have other videos I need to record. I really like it. It's a really solid game. It's not perfect. Again, I think the RNG can definitely become annoying when you have... Okay, all right. If you would just let me through, please. When you have, like, specific things you want. Like, I would love some new ninja gear that didn't make me lose the skills that I have. Stuff that gave me a little bit more defense would be incredible. But at the same time, the stuff that I'm using is working, you know? I can make more armor if I want to. It's just expensive for resources to do so. I can get more weapons by fighting revenants if I want to. But I do think you need to know going in that it can take a while to get the build that you want. Once you have it, you're great. You're set. But it can take a while to get the build that you want. And I feel like they did that because they want you to mix and match. They don't want you to just commit to a build within the first hour. But that doesn't make it less annoying when you're like 40 hours in and you still don't have your full build because you can't find the Odachi with the right skills you want, or you can't find the right switch glaive with mid attack high and that's all you want to use is mid attacks. Yeah, it's such a cool combo. That time I didn't play around with it. Dimshirur! The music, too, I think it's something that people are going to overlook, but the music in this game is really, really good. Maybe it's underground over here? I don't remember. It's been so long since I did the side mission. Yeah, I bet it is. Who's huh? I mean, I could just kill you from here. Because I don't want to trigger that thing and fight you at the same time. It's probably going to be another Ippon Datura, right? Yeah. Because we're still early game when those were the only mobs that we really had that were boss mobs. Other than, like, the bosses themselves, you know? Well, Takimaru. Ow, I rolled into that and I died. I didn't use my scroll of sealing that keeps me from dying because I was like, I'm not going to need it. It's just an Ippon Datura. I've killed so many of those. But I forgot. LP curse. Commenter's curse. Alright, let's go back. This is a lot of fun for everybody to watch, right? Me just dying over and over again and having to redo this section. I would like to say, this is not to defend me because I'm bad at video games and I'm aware of that. I do think anybody that has never tried it should try commenting, recording something and talking while they're playing with an intensive game like this where you have to be paying attention to, just to see the effect that it has. Because I think it's incredible how much somebody's skill deteriorates when they're also trying to hold a conversation. It is nuts to me that our brains just cannot seem to handle doing both of those things at the same time. I mean, obviously we do it. How many of us have completed LPs on this website? But it's just nuts to me the effect that it has. Excuse me, sir. Could you get out of my way so I can fight that Ippon Datura, please? I used my key pulse correctly there. Knocked him into the fire. Oh, you came down after me. Hello. I didn't burst counter in time. That's okay. He whiffed. He whiffed it real bad. Okay. Now, we have it up. Talking about it? We missed most of it, but we hit with some of it. That's okay. I've done worse before. Like the time that I died a minute ago. Don't walk back into the fire, Trey. That's the only thing I ask of you. Oh! We're out of stamina. We dodged it. Good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. No, we're cool. We're cool. Let me heal. No, we're cool. We're cool. No, that's okay. I had my scroll of ceiling up. Back off. Back off. Let me heal. Aha! Idiot. Jump down here. Come on. I have fire too. Oh, it missed you somehow. How about some water? Nope. Okay. All right. That's cool. How about... Oh, there's gakis! About some... Oh, boy. There's so many enemies now. All right. Takemaru, help me out. Kill all of them, please. Kill all of them, please. I don't want to die again on YouTube. Man, New Game Plus is no joke. Stuff has a lot of health and does a lot of damage on New Game Plus. Oh, he's still alive. I thought I killed him for sure there. We got him there, though. Woo! Get any good stuff? Fire mask. And of course, we got XP that we can use to level up. Which, again, because I'm using a new weapon type, I would really like to level up. To get points in it. Is there anything up this ladder before we leave? Well, yeah, that's what I feel. Alright, well, despite my terrible play, that is Nioh 2. Fire mask. Nothing for... This is what I was talking about with the RNG. Like, that's a good drop for almost any build. Except for mine, because I need ninjutsu power. And even then, this one I have is not very much ninjutsu power. But it also lets me get more Amrita, more ki. This one gives me more ki, too. Toughness. And gives me extra health. But no ninjutsu power. And it takes my weight up. Let me know your thoughts on Nioh 2 in the comment section down below. I know this was super rambly, even more than usual, but this type of game is very hard to play and talk about at the same time for the road to GOTYs. Let me know your thoughts on it in the comment section down below. And until next time, I've been Trey. This has been the Full Spectrum. Remember to always enjoy the full spectrum. The Nioh 2 has to offer.